Yep, a few things. First of all, obviously Kentucky's a great basketball team. I think Ashton Hagans has just gotten better and better and better. He's really good. He's really good, and from where he was in a junior and senior in high school, because we had recruited him, I think he's just continued to get better and better and better, which is a great credit to Coach Calipari and his staff on the development of Ashton Hagans, and I thought he was a big difference today. The biggest part of the game was 44-41, and we left 11 points on the board. I mean, that's just the game. And Michael DeVoe, who's been great all season for us for the most part, had one of the leading three-point shooters in the country, had 2 wide open threes, and he missed both. Khalid Moore had one that went in and out, literally went down and out, and then Asante Price had a layup that we missed. That's 11 points. And when you're playing a really good team on the road, and with some of our, we're missing 2 of our better players with Jose Alvarado and Jordan Usher, you just don't have any margin for error not to score in those type of situations when you get those type of looks. And that was the game right there. I thought our guys executed our game plan. We put ourselves in a position to win the game defensively. We are who we are defensively. We are a very good defensive team. And we do a good job with what we do defensively. We did a good job on the glass of limiting them. Our goal was to keep them under 9 offensive rebounds, which we did. But we missed some threes in the second half. We missed some free throws, and Kentucky made their free throws. And that was the difference right there.
Okay, you have questions?
Josh, is there anything in particular about Ashton that might separate him from other good point guards out there?
I just tell you, he was a pro tonight. He was a first-round draft pick the way he played tonight. He's gotten better. He's continued to improve, and he's a phenomenal young man. He's a good person. He's got a good spirit about him. So I'm really high on Ashton. I think he's really, really good, and he's continued to get better each game as each game has gone by. He's shooting the ball better, so it's a credit to him. Heck, I told Coach Calipari when we were at Memphis, Georgia Tech shooting free throws like we did at Memphis, and they're shooting free throws like you would have won maybe as much as he won at Memphis. He might have won 100% of his games the way they're shooting the free throw right now. I think they're one of the 2 or 3 best in the country, and that's a big difference. In games when it's a possession by possession game, to be able to make those free throws, and that's a big deal. But Hagans is a stud. I think he's a first-round draft pick.
Coach, did you ever imagine that you'd go from being John Calipari's assistant to facing against him with another team?
No, I mean, look, when I got the job at Memphis, the only reason I got the job at Memphis was because nobody wanted the job at Memphis, because nobody wanted to follow Coach Calipari at Memphis, because, he had the most wins in a 4-year period. His last 4 years, he had won close to 95% of his games. So, when he left, I would just happen to be literally the last man standing. They had to hire somebody, and eventually they just asked me if I wanted the job. And but I was all set to come to Kentucky with Coach Cal, and so I was very fortunate. Look, I got really lucky. A door opened up. I was at the right place at the right time. I don't forget that. I understand an opportunity was there, and allowed me to have an opportunity to be able to coach at an incredible institution like at Memphis, and then to be able to recruit at an incredible institution at Georgia Tech, and to be able to coach in the ACC. I'm very fortunate and thankful and grateful, extremely grateful for Coach Cal for allowing me to come to his staff, which allowed me to get the job at Memphis.
Josh, can you talk a little bit about James? And it just seems like he's in a funk and can't get out of it, and Richards actually did a really nice job on him tonight as well.
Yeah, James, the better James will be, is going to be better when our guards can continue to help James. James he's gotten better, obviously, from where he started, but he struggled last week a little bit, obviously, as we know, and he's gotten some foul trouble. He did have 3 block shots tonight. A couple times I thought on his fouls, he tried to make a couple home run plays, which put him in a position to get a silly foul. But for us to have success, we need James to be really good. And for us to have the success that we all want to have, we need Jose Alvarado and Jordan Usher when he's there to help us, because that will help James be able to maybe some things to get into the paint to free him up to get some easier baskets. But in the short term, until that happens, he's just got to be really effective. And the biggest thing is the turnover deal. You know, he had 4 again or 3 again today, and we just got to be better about that in that area.
Josh, can you talk a little bit about what maybe
Keon Brooks, what he provides for them coming off the bench?
Yeah, Keon Brooks was solid, but you know, my whole thing is we followed the game plan. There was no issue. Ashton Hagans was the biggest difference in the game today was them making their free throws, but also that the 11 points we left on the board when we were 44-41 late in the second half or middle of the second. That's the game. And they got a bunch of good players. The 8 that played are all high-level guys. They're all going to play in the NBA, you know. But obviously, the guy that's a first-round surefire, first-round pick, I assume, is Ashton Hagans, and he was really, really good today. But we followed our game plan. We did our job, and we put ourselves in a position to win. There was that segment. There's 11 points left on the board, and when we don't have that margin for error, that's against a really good team like Kentucky. You're just not in a position to do that.
Josh, do you remember your very first meeting with Cal, what you were thinking, your impressions of him?
Yeah, I mean, I knew Coach Calipari during recruiting and all that, and I really mean this. And a couple people, Mr. Tipton had called me, and John Hale, see here, from there you are, okay, he called me, and I said this, and I'm being dead serious, and I know he'll deny it, but when he retires, he will not go into TV. He will go for politics, and I really believe he was going to possibly run for the President of the United States, and if not that, he's going to go for a governor and senator. He can come up here and deny it, but mark my words. And he just, he has that charisma, he has that energy to do it, and he's always been interested in it. And so I'm telling you, when he does it, and he can deny it now, he will end up running for it. And I don't know which party or anything like that, but he's got that ability. He's a genius of a marketer. He's obviously a genius of a basketball coach. He's one of the greatest to ever do it, regardless of sport. He's one of the greatest coaches ever, and it wouldn't matter if he was running a slice-by-slice pizza place down the street. It would become a multi-million-dollar company. So he just has something about that the ability to be very successful no matter what. He just happened to choose basketball, and he would have been successful no matter what he does.
Josh, you have an offense where it feeds off the defensive energy, and in the second half you did a decent job of forcing turnovers, but there was a stretch where you made only 1 of 12 baskets. What was kind of the issue with translating those turnovers into points?
The whole game was that segment where we left 11 points on the board. Michael DeVoe was wide open, incredible look. I mean, if he gets 100 of those, he's got to shoot 100 of them. And Khalid Moore was wide open, and the ball literally went in the hoop and rolled out, and then we missed the layup. So that's the basketball game. If you make when you're in your best shooter, and one of the best shooters in the entire country has that open of a shot, that segment was the entire basketball game. We make a shot here or there, it could be a different outcome in the end.
Anyone else?
Josh, you mentioned how difficult it is to follow somebody like Cal. Let's say when he runs for president and you're not at Georgia Tech, Kentucky offers you the job, you can take it in a heartbeat, wouldn't you?
Well, I just hope to beat Ball State on Wednesday. That's my only thought process, is I hope to beat Ball State. But I will tell you, Coach Calipari is going to be here for a while, obviously. I think if he goes for another 10, 15 years, he'll end up being one of the winningest coach. But whoever follows him at UMass, whoever follows him at Memphis as I did, whoever follows him at Kentucky it's going to be a hard job. That's just, at the success that he's, not only has he won games, but stuff he's done with the community and everything else. He's just, he's one of the very elite to do what he's done. So, I just really hope he beat Ball State on Wednesday. That's my only focus.
Okay, folks, thank you very much.
Thank you.